Hello students, welcome to today's lecture of programming in Java for BCA 5th semester as per the syllabus of IK Gujral, Punjab Technical University, Jalandhar. The course code is 502. Let us check the syllabus first of all. What are the topics we covered till now? Fundamentals of object-oriented programming. I have covered this chapter of section 8. Then Java evolution. We are doing overview of Java language, and today's topic is Java virtual machine. It's unit 3rd, overview of Java language, and lesson number 4, that is Java virtual machine, lecture number 12. First of all, what is the meaning of Java virtual machine, or what is the meaning of virtual machine basically? A virtual machine is a software implementation of a physical machine. And Java was developed with the concept of VORA, write once, run anywhere, which runs on virtual machine. The compiler compiles the Java file into java.class file whenever we write the program inside the DOS platform. If we have to run the program, first of all, we have to design the program in text file, then save. The file name should be as that of your class name. Suppose class is equal to student or class student is there. Then we have to save the file with student.java. And for compilation purposes, we have to write javac, then student.java. And when we press enter, the compiler converts that text file or Java file into class file. Then dot class file is input into JVM, that is Java virtual machine, which loads and executes the class file. This one is the structure. I would like to discuss in detail about this structure. This one is too much important. As we did earlier, that is virtual machine is a software implementation of the physical machine. We did earlier in the previous slide. And Java was developed with the concept of VORA, that is run once, write once, and run anywhere, which runs on virtual machine. The compiler compiles Java file into java.class file. Then that .class file is input into the Java virtual machine, which loads and executes the class file. And this one is the diagram, or you can say architecture of Java virtual machine, showing that at the start class file is there, and there are 3 blocks. One is class loader subsystem, and second one is runtime data area, and third one is execution engine. You can see clearly the contents inside the diagram. And if I am talking about the first block, class loader subsystem. Class loader, now as the name suggests, what is the meaning of class loader? It comprises of loading, linking, and initialization. 3 contents are there basically. And first step, loading. You can say classes will be loaded by this component, and it comprises of 3 subparts: bootstrap class loader, extension class loader, and application class loader. And what about bootstrap? You know about booting system. You can say about starting point. It's responsible for loading classes from the base, from the scratch, from the bootstrap class path. And what about extension? Responsible for loading classes which are inside ext folder. And this folder, you can see this folder inside JRE and then library. You can see the extension class loader or ext class loader. Third one is application class loader, this one. Now what about application class loader? Responsible for loading application level class path. Path mentioned environment variables, etc. If environment variables are there or you have to load that content, it means you have to use application class loader. It means three contents are there. One is booting, second is extension, and third one is application. And the important part is which you can do at your own level. One algorithm is there, delegation hierarchy algorithm. You can do the work on that algorithm. You can study about the contents. Inside the delegation hierarchy algorithm, you can see the various class loaders. Inside that algorithm, how they work. For example, what is the detail behind bootstrap class loader? What is the detail behind extension class loader? What is the detail behind application class loader? You can see that particular content. Now the second one, if I am talking about linking, linking comprises of again three parts. One is verify, second is prepare, and third is resolve. And what is the meaning of verify? For verification of error, to checking whether the byte code contains any error or not, whether the byte code is proper or not. For that, verify is required. Now what about prepare? For all static variables, memory will be allocated and assigned with the default values. For all static variables, means at runtime, you can't change that value, that is static. For all static variables, memory will be allocated and assigned with the default values. We have to allocate the memory to those variables with the default values. For example, if I am saying integer, you can check by using your compiler that integer is by default 0 and decimal or float value is 0.0 like that. Now the second one is prepare. For all static variables, memory will be allocated and assigned with the default values, prepare. Then resolve. What about resolve? Two components are already there. One is verify and second is prepare. Verification, then preparation means default values are there. Verify means verification of byte code. Preparation means default values are there for static variables. And what about resolve? All the symbolic memory references are replaced with original references. Symbolic memory references are replaced with original references from method area. We will check the detail inside this resolve content in method area in runtime data areas. First part in runtime data areas, that is method area. You can see the diagram there, this one, method area. Now the third part in class files or class loader subsystem is initialization. It is the final phase, you can say, of class loader subsystem, and all the static variables will be assigned with the original values, and the static block will be executed. Static values are or static variables are assigned to original values, and the static block will be executed. Now, I repeat again, bootstrap class loader responsible for loading classes from the bootstrap class path, then extension. These are the contents lie inside ext folder, extension class loader, then application class loader for responsible for environment variables. Now what about verify? Verification error means checking of byte code for errors. Then prepare for default values, static variables, default value of static variables. This one is responsible. Then resolve means all the symbolic memory references are replaced by the original references. And then initialization means static variables will be assigned with original values and static block will be executed. Initialization means static block will be executed in this block. I think the content is clear about the first part, that is class loader subsystem. Now what about runtime data area? Second one, this one. 5 data areas are there. One is method area, second one is heap area, then stack area, PC register, and native method stack. Now what about method area? All the class level data, listen, all the class level data will be stored here, including static variables. There is only one method area per JVM, and its shared resource with sharing the resources is there. Means the static variables are stored inside this. What about heap area? Objects, instance variables, arrays are stored inside heap area. And one heap area is there as per JVM or Java Virtual Machine. Then what about stack area? It comprises of different threads. Means multiple contents are there. For every thread, a separate runtime stack will be created, can be created. For every method call, one entry will be made in a stack memory, which is called as stack frame. All the local variables are created inside stack memory. And inside the stack frame, which one is important? Thread is basically a program or a part of a big program, that is called thread. If I am talking about LVA, you can see here stack frame. Inside stack frame, one content is there, LVA, then OS and FD. 3 content are there. Now what is the meaning of LVA? LVA means local variable array. And second one is operand stack. And FD stands for frame data. Now what is the meaning of local variable array? It's related to that method or related to the method how many local variables are involved and corresponding values will be stored here. Local variables. Inside particular block, some variables are there. Those variables are known as local variables. And what about operand stack? Various operands are there. The block of operands are there. You can store that content here. Then frame data. All the symbols corresponding to the method are stored here. Frame data. Symbols. First of all, first step is, I repeat again, local variable array means local variables are there. Operand stack, all the operands are there. Then frame data. Frame data. Also, you can say some exceptional blocks are also there. Some symbols are also there stored inside this content, inside this stack frame. 3 contents are there: local variable array, operand stack, then frame data. For each thread, it's different. Then what about PC register? The fourth part. Now, what about thread? Each thread will have separate PC register. First thread separate register, second thread separate PC register for thread 1, then PC register for thread 2, PC register for thread 3, and up to so on. So that it can hold the address of current execution instructions. Once the instructions are executed, the PC register will be updated with the next instruction. Now what about the native method stack? It holds native method information. For every thread, a separate native method stack will be created. Now the last one is execution engine. It comprises of 3 parts: execution engine, JIT compiler, and then garbage collection. Basically 2 parts are there. One is interpreter. So what is the meaning of interpreter? Interpreter, basically what interpreter does, interpreter doing or checking the program line by line for errors and compiler in a single attempt. That's why interpreter is slow. You can say it's one disadvantage of interpreter. Then what about JIT? JIT stands for just-in-time compiler. And this compiler neutralizes the disadvantages of interpreter or overcome, you can say, the problems of interpreter or slowing down the content of execution. It will handle that. The execution engine will be using the help of interpreter in converting byte code. But when it finds repeated code, it uses JIT compiler. If repetition is there, it will use JIT compiler, which compiles the entire byte code and changes it into native code. This native code will be used directly for repeated method calls, which improves the performance of the system. Now the subparts inside this, 4 subparts are there. One is intermediate code generator, ICG, then CO, code optimizer, and TCG, that is target code generator. First of all, these 3 contents. Now intermediate code generator, it produces the intermediate code so that further repetitive code can be generated with the help of JIT. Second one is code optimizer. It's responsible for optimizing to gain maximum efficiency or to gain maximum output. Optimizing tools are required. The intermediate code generated above, it is responsible for optimizing that particular code which is generated by ICG. And what about TCG? Responsible for generating machine code, target code generator. Now what about profiler? A special component responsible for finding hotspots. Now what is the meaning of hotspot? Whether the method is called multiple number of times or single. It can be checked using profiler. Now what about garbage collection? Collect and remove unreferenced objects. Now JNI, native method interface. It will be interacting with native method libraries. Various libraries are there in Java. It will interact with that particular group of libraries. For example, we are importing some data like that. It can be used in that way. The detailed contents are, I have already explained, class loader subsystem, runtime data area, execution engine, then class loader subsystem, and inside the class loader subsystem, loading is there. Then bootstrap class loader, extension class loader, I have already discussed about this. Then application class loader. This one you can do at your own level, delegation hierarchy algorithm. You can try on that. In linking, verify, prepare, and resolve, one is for verification error, default values in prepare, and symbolic memory references are replaced with original references. It's in resolve. Then initialization, runtime data area, method area, heap area, stack area. Then local variable array, operand stack, and frame data, PC register, native method stack, execution engine, JIT compiler is the important part in this. Then garbage collector and native method libraries. Thanks for watching my video.